I found out from Smithson's records that in fact when they were sinking pits in those days they had candles and they used a number of candles in order to give them light, because of course there was no electricity in those days and no gas.
No.
They had, and as soon as you start going down a shaft you've lost your light, haven't you?
Yes.
And so they had they used a number of candles in order to dig the shaft out when they were using the crib and digging down and that sort of thing. And it's amazing really to think that people in those days, when they went down a pit shaft and started going looking for the coal, all the light that they had was a candle.
That's true, isn't it?
And all they had was a pick and a shovel and a tub.
And of course the candle was the only illumination at that time.
Yes, but it was so dangerous.
Well, it was so dangerous. It was so dangerous that it was the cause of many explosions.
Yes, yes.
That was before the people who owned the pits and other people were aware of the dangers.
Well, it started, you see, with the bell pits, didn't it?
It started with the bell pits.
Yes, they went down a bell pit and they got the coal at the bottom and took that away, and then they sank another bell pit, didn't they?
Yes, what they did in those cases, of course, they used it was only very shallow.
Yeah.
And they extracted the coal as far as they could go by being ventilated by natural means.
Yes.
And then as soon as everybody got to the stage where they couldn't ventilate it any further, they would sink another one and they would fill the old one up with the debris from the new one.
Yes, yes. You can see all these at Emily at the present
That's
time.
Right.
I think there's one actually at Newton Hill.
As a matter of fact, they hadn't in existence, but obviously they've been filled up. But I have a plan at home, and they built a new golf course at Apfield Hall.
Yes.
In recent years. And there's bell pits that stretch right away from Apfield Hall, right away up to the top of Rookness Road.
Yeah.
And then there's another series of bell pits in the Lee Moor area.
Yeah. Well, you only had a 45% extraction, didn't you, from Manor?
Manor Colliery, I only went to
But
Manor.
that was pillar and stall
Yes.
method, wasn't it?
No, not exactly. When I went to Manor, I only went there short term because they were having some management problems. And at that time, I was area power loading engineer, and they asked me, well, Bill Charlton actually asked me to go there. He was director, or to sort of look after Manor until they sorted these management problems out. And at that time, the pillar and store workings, which had been the basis of the production at Manor for many years, that stopped doing that, but the basis in the early days was pillar and store.
Yeah.
And there was extracting about 45%.
Yeah. How many roads are there under the cathedral?
Under the cathedral, I don't know, to be quite honest.
There's two.
I know that
It's on a shaft pillar, isn't it?
That's right.
And you've made two. You were in charge at Manor, and Manor Colliery had two faces that went, well, two roads which went underneath the cathedral.
They just took those two roads through for ventilation purposes.
Yes, but
they didn't extract any coal.
No. Harold Saul, you know him, wouldn't you?
Oh, I knew him pretty well.
Yeah.
I can tell you a lot of stories about Harold Saul.
And did you know Marriott as well?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
he was the mine engineer.
Yeah.
He was on mechanisation.
Yes.
I knew him pretty well.
What do you think he did with a contra-reciprocating coal saw then?
I don't know really. I never saw the end of that one. Did you know?
Yes, I'll tell you what he did.
Tell you do so.
He bought about 12 all at once, and they would cost the earth. And he brought one to Lofthouse, and he started using it at Lofthouse. And he broke the blade. And so he came to the stores and got another one, another contra-reciprocating coal saw. He cannibalised 11 of them to keep one going at Lofthouse.
Well, it cost quite a bit then.
Oh, it cost millions.